Hey guys, welcome to another video of Idol Insider. Oh man, today's video I'm going to be talking about the pros and cons of being a K-pop idol and just my experience while I was a K-pop idol. There are so many things that I want to say, and this video is going to be a little bit more personal and a little bit more raw. I know that a lot of you guys who were watching my previous videos before have been asking me to talk more about my personal experience. My previous videos I talked about just the overall range of things just in terms of idols. To be honest, I'm pretty nervous to do this video. I had to think a lot about it because as much as I want to put so many things out there, I also know the risks of it as well. And also another thing I thought a lot was, am I even ready to really say what I'm feeling? But yes, today I'm going to be trying to keep it as personal and raw and just real as possible, so I hope you guys enjoy the video. And I usually start off my videos obviously on a more serious note and about serious things that I want to talk about, but today I'm going to be starting off the video with pros of being a K-pop idol, so I hope you guys enjoy. And yeah, let's get to it. The first thing is I got to build so many good friendships. It's so crazy. Got to meet so many good people that support me and are always next to me. When I first moved to Korea, it was very difficult for me because I was an LA girl in Korea, not knowing anybody, and I don't know, I just felt like very outcasted. Just even when I wanted to say something in general, everyone would be speaking Korean around me while I was more comfortable with speaking English. But you know, throughout just like meeting a lot of people and also just connecting with a lot of people, I think I got to meet a lot of good people around me. I think the people who, you know, I got to meet on a deeper level and that got closer to me because, you know, they got to see me for me, which is very difficult to do in the entertainment industry. And yeah, and we're just so thankful to the friends and just the people that I met. It really, I think, was the biggest thing that I gained out of being in this industry was just the people that I gained from it. Also, another thing that I really liked about being just, you know, in the entertainment industry was that I was constantly singing, dancing, and, you know, performing on stage. I didn't realize it too much after, but I think I realized it more and more is how much I enjoyed myself actually performing and just doing what I like to do. And also, I think the best part of it was I'm Korean American, so I got to do a lot of shows or radios or TV shows that were in English. So for me, even working, it wasn't a feeling of I was working. I had a lot of fun doing just TV shows and radio programs, and yeah, it kind of reminds me of how thankful I was to even be able to use English in that type of form, because for me, I just spoke English my entire life, but I didn't know that it would be something that would be beneficial into my work as well. So for me, definitely I think that I missed the singing, the dancing, just the performing, and just even presenting myself in front of a large number of people. Another thing that I really liked was that I was constantly having a change of makeup and hair. If I think about it now, all the damage that went through my hair, it could be a con, but just kidding. I really did like all the things that I went through. I had a lot of change, but it was actually very fun. It felt really good because for me, I always had a problem with knowing how to do makeup and like doing my hair. I was never really talented at like the beauty side. For me, definitely as more of professional people started touching my hair and just my makeup, I realized I got to get a preference of what looks good on me. Definitely, yeah, it taught me a lot. Another thing that I liked was traveling. When you're an idol, you are always going to be going to events or even overseas events. And I think for me, yes, it was difficult, but it was actually fun at the same time because I love traveling. I love going to see new places. And for me, you know, I was working and doing that at the same time. So for me, I thought that it was actually a plus, and I wish I would have went to so many more other countries as well. But I think I really loved that part about being an idol too. Now we're going to be talking about the cons of being a K-pop idol. I got to meet a lot of good people, but I got to meet a lot of shady people and a lot of shallow people as well. And my experience with shady and shallow people was not only through just like entertainment people, like as in people who worked in like the companies, which I met through so many people too. There's so many people in companies that use money in wrong ways and also don't manage the company correctly. And yeah, but aside from that, I think that the part where I realized were just a bunch of shallow people was when I was a rookie. So obviously my group was really underrated. We were under a very small company. And yeah, so what I remember, and I still can't get this out of my head, was when I was first going on a music program. Our company had a lot of trouble putting us on like a music show program first because there's obviously so many groups that have to go on music programs, and basically the more underrated you are, the more bottom of the list you are going to be from going on those shows. And I know that a lot of you guys know that like when you guys, a new group comes out and they're not promoting, is they're wanting to promote, they're trying their hardest probably to promote that group and put them on music programs, but you know, it just doesn't work out as they want. And anyways, I remember when I first went to the music program and we were just going to get our mics. So we were putting on our mics and they're like, oh, like, 네, like, 여기요. And her like reactions towards us was very cold and very just like she didn't really care. And I'm like, yeah, it's fine. Like obviously she didn't know who we were, and it's just like, okay, 야, 여기 가주세요, 네, 이거 껴주세요. So that was it. And I was like, okay, like maybe you know, I was like, okay. And then another rookie group from a bigger company came in right after us, and the way she gave them the mics changed like 360. She was like, oh, 네, 여기요, 네, 여기 껴주세요. Like, so I was like, oh my god, like, why is she treating us so differently? And I realized it wasn't only that experience. I just had so many experiences after that that I can't even count, where you are treated differently if you are a rookie group. And yes, it's understandable because they do not know you and they do not basically know who you are, but I don't know, it just kind of like kills your vibe sometimes because you're just like, oh, like we're getting treated differently. And yeah, I think it gave me a motivation to actually work harder. It was because I'm like, oh, I gotta get up there for them to be treating me the same as them, even though they didn't do anything. You know what I'm talking about? So that was one thing that I really had trouble with, was just, yeah, having to deal with like a lot of shallow people. I was going to a music program to do what I love, but I dreaded going to music programs because I was just like put down. We were always just put down all the time. And yeah, as I said, it's probably going to be different for like the groups, but I just remember being put down a lot while I was at music programs, which I didn't like a lot. And yeah. Another thing was when you're in a group, you guys are obviously gonna have parts of the song that you guys are gonna have to split up. So it's either that, I don't know, the producer will have a song for you guys and then he'll either just settle your parts, or you guys can basically sing the whole song and they'll pick which part fits better for the members. So I remember when I first had my song coming out, there's a part that I wanted to sing so bad. Like, I was basically determined to get that part in the song because I wanted to sing that part so bad. And I liked that part so much, but I remember when I didn't get the part and it was given to another member, I was kind of like, oh my gosh, no. And I think like a lot of idols will understand this, is that you don't get to sing whatever you want to sing. It's not your choice, obviously. And I think that's like the most difficult part too, is that obviously if you're a main vocal, yeah, you will have more spots to sing, but if you have a bigger group, then you're not going to be able to sing as much. So I feel like for me, that was kind of like the negative part about it, was not being able to choose what I wanted to sing or what part I wanted to sing, and yeah. So another thing is you can't pick out your concept, what kind of song you want, and just anything when you are a rookie in an idol group. Or even if you're not a rookie, the company usually has a bigger say in what they want to promote you as and which direction they want to take your group in, which is very difficult because I think a lot of idols will realize is midway is that there's a time where you really do not want to do the song that you're gonna promote, and you really don't want to do it, but you have to do it, and then you're kind of like, this isn't what I signed up for. And then all these thoughts come to your head, but you gotta do it, because if you don't do it, then you're gonna get in trouble. So I feel like this is another thing, is you realize, oh, I did sign up because I like singing and dancing, but midway it's kind of stuff that you don't really like to do. And yes, some idols do get more of a say as they go on, and the company will listen to more of the direction they want to take the group in later on. But definitely it was very difficult midway, yeah, and I had a lot of trouble with that. I didn't know if I was supposed to just say it, but I do want to keep it as real as possible because I feel like it's only right too, and it's the thing that I suffered through the most, so I did want to share that with you guys. While I was an idol, I suffered from a lot of anxiety, and like I'm still coping with it now. I can't say that I'm like fully gone, but yeah, I think it really hit the peak of like just everything when I had anxiety was when I was an idol, was because I didn't have a freedom of speech. Like I couldn't say the things that I really wanted to say because, I don't know, my company might not like it, or you know, I just can't say stuff like that. Or freedom of like action, I couldn't act a certain way, like I always had to act a certain way. And also even just like being on camera or just in front of people, I always had to be a certain way. I always had to be happy, or I always had to be just this image that they had, or like the company had, or just of what people had. And I think it was really hard for me was when I tried to just think back. I was like, man, this isn't me. I'm not like this in real life. I'm being portrayed as something else. And I think a lot of idols actually cope with this, is finding their identity and finding the identity that is just put out there. It's really hard to kind of like balance that out. And yeah, it just was really difficult. A part of me kind of was like, oh, I wasn't totally lost in it, like I didn't lose myself totally, but yeah, it was just really difficult to just kind of be something or somebody that I really didn't think I was. I feel like that was probably the most difficult time. I had a lot of like mental breakdowns, yeah, because it was just so different than what I thought it was going to be. But at the end of the day, I don't regret any of the decisions that I made, or even being in this industry, because I got to learn so many other things through it. And they always say through experience you'll learn, and I definitely think that my experience through just being an idol and just experiencing, you know, a bunch of shady people, or things that are wrong with like contracts, or things that I was not allowed to say, like freedom, or just anything in general, I feel like I grew so much from it because I was able to cope through it, and it just really helped me to just opening an eye in terms of like what kind of people there are, or just who I am too, you know? Like I'm like, oh, I don't like that, or I like that. So yeah. Whew. Like my heart's racing right now. Yeah. Anyways, so I think that's pretty much it. I'm kind of scared to edit this video, but I try to keep it just as raw as I can. And yeah, I actually feel a lot better about it too, just me talking about it, because it was something that I really contemplated a lot about, if I should just bring up personal matters into Idol Insider, because yeah, there's a lot of parts that are kind of that I was scared of, to be honest. Yeah, I was very scared, but I really hope that you guys liked the video, and thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a good day, and yeah, bye.
오늘도 정신이 없네 yeah. 미친 듯이 전화 울리네 yeah. 아침부터 왜 또 전화 걸어 알잖아 girl you